a new crazy deck that is built around the Ishkanah GrafWidow that has a very interesting abilities, quite a long text to get there. They're rich, so the Ishkanah can block flyers. Delirium, when Ishkanah GrafWidow enters the battlefield, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, put 3 1/2 green spider creature tokens with reach onto the battlefield. So this would be a token generation spider, and by paying 6 generic plus 1 black, target opponent loses 1 life for each spider you control. So the idea in this case is to make use of this second ability. So we have to build a deck with a lot of spiders to make a good use of this ability and make it worth. But let's see, how many spiders do you think there are in this card set? Well, this one. Just this. I couldn't find another spider here. The only other spiders are, of course, the tokens that Ishkanah is going to produce. So to make the objective of the deck is to kill the opponent by activating this ability. So we need to have our opponent at maybe 4 life, or maybe paying this twice in a turn, so we can activate this multiple times, or also making Ishkanah enter the battlefield several times in a game. So we have built or try to build a deck that tries to make just that in the hands of, in this case, Eldrazi Displeasure, that paying 2 generic plus 1 colorless, it's going to exile another target creature, then return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner control. So this can be used to trigger the enter the battlefield effect from Ishkanah several times, hopefully. The worst case scenario is this getting exiled. That would be devastating for the win condition of the deck, but we are also running long road home. So we, by paying 1 white and 1 generic, we get to exile target creature, and at the beginning of the next end step we return that card to the battlefield under its owner control. So we can save this from an exile spell such as Anguished Unmaking and be okay with that. Also running Eldritch Evolution to find our Ishkanah, also running the Green Guardian of Murasa to bring Ishkanah from graveyard if she died, and also Tamiyo's Journal to search for a card in the library, also Balov Null to bring up to 2 target creatures from graveyard to our hand, and of course lots of ramp in the deck. So let's see if this trio can help us get away with this idea. So the objective is not winning, but activating Ishkanah for a profitable effect of perhaps more than 4 points of damage. That is the objective of this game, but let's see if we are able to do so. The deck is not the best deck out there, is not the most powerful way to use that Ishkanah, and of course I don't expect this to win a lot of times, but I'm expecting to have lots of fun. Let's see if we can pull out something. So I forgot to mention that we are running Crumbling Vestige that can serve us to fix our mana. I like this hand because we have the Pilgrim's Eye here. I'm going to keep just in case. The problem is that we need an extra land, but if we get there, then we have our 4th land thanks to the Pilgrim's Eye, and we have a couple of instants here. Make a stand makes all our creatures indestructible. So here nothing to play for the time being, so let's just drop the Crumbling Vestige, and so in case that we draw an untapped land next turn, we can play the Pilgrim's Eye. But if we do not get a land, this is going to be problematic. This is a very greedy hand to start with. the opponent running Shadows of the Past, so this has all the indications of a zombie deck. So let's go with the Forest and Pilgrim's Eye. I think Plains is in order here, just to having access to our instance. So Eldritch Evolution, we can use this to find pretty much any other creature that we want in our deck, but that's provided the opponent does not kill the Pilgrim's Eye but by the looks of it, this is the end of the Pilgrim's Eye history. So also the opponent gets to scry thanks to Shadows of the Past. Let's see now a second Pilgrim's Eye. It's quite amusing. Let's go ahead. I think that of course is not going to survive too long thanks to Liliana, but we are about to get our Tamiyo's journal soon and start cracking some clues, I suppose, because the activation of this other kind of is too slow for us. Their Grasp Colossus is going to spam a lot of tokens for the opponent, and this Liliana is getting close to being able to activate the emblem. That is quite dangerous. Let's see if Tamiyo's journal can save us. So, an interesting aspect of Pilgrim's Eye is that it's both artifact and creature, so this counts double towards the card types in the graveyard. That will help activating Delirium sooner or later. Nissa's Renewal is going to help us recover life from this, but if Liliana gets his emblem, I think it's game over for us. So Eldrazi Displacer is quite nice, but since we have just one Plains, I think it is better to save this one because we kind of need it to be ready to blink something else. And drawing cards is not going to hurt us. Let's hope. Depending on our next draw, we might run Nissa's Renewal or maybe use Tamiyo's journal. Another Planeswalker and Jace is even more problematic, but at least the opponent is not playing zombies so far. But this Jace can bounce back creatures to our hand. Not if he decides to bounce the Ishkanah is not going to be so bad actually. We can replay Ishkanah several times. But let's see what we draw here. The clue is produced and we have a Shambling Bend. It's good, but it's not going to let us play Nissa's Renewal this turn. So we can drop the Eldrazi Displacer, maybe triggering Jace using his -2, but it's quite unlikely for that to happen. Also, Make a Stand could save Eldrazi Displacer if we got another Plains. Let's draw first and see if we have a better option. Now the intelligent system is trying to make me spend all the green mana, and Elvenwald Mystery is kind of good here, provided this at least if the opponent kills our non-token creatures we get some clues, and if we crack a clue we get a 1/1 human, so this artifact next to this enchantment is quite powerful. Maybe the opponent has something to stop us from doing so. Now, if we use the Eldritch Evolution on a token, I think we kind of get a 2-drop for us. Crypt Breaker, a zombie, a 1-drop zombie that triggers the Diagraph Colossus and also Liliana is here. Good. Now the Eldrazi Displacer might stop the aggression here. A second Eldritch Evolution, kind of really very good here. But I think that first of all, let's go ahead and find ourselves more lands, and all in the process we gain some life, and we are going to get one of each color, I guess. Alright. On the other hand, maybe saving the forest in the library is the best choice. Now, let's see, the opponent probably attacking with everything, or perhaps using the breaker. So the emblem is showing up. Well, at least we get to see the emblem in action. So this is going to make the zombies grow exponentially, and we are not running anything to stop that quite yet. Alright, so we are pretty much dead next turn, unless we do something interesting. So Nissa, find a forest, play the forest. We are left with enough mana to do something else. Let's spend our, I guess, let's leave one green just in case. Yes. Now the question is, do we want to transform Nissa, or we leave her as she is? Maybe we want to transform her if we Cruel Revival, and let's Long Row Home. I think it's proper here. So she comes back and we get another forest for us. But let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, so 5 mana, and I think it's better to draw 2 more cards. With the clues we get 2 tokens out of that. I think that is better. So let's see what happens here. Crypt Breaker. The opponent pays 1 life and draws 1. We get Nissa. Let's get another forest. We have a 3/3 Nissa, and we can make our creatures indestructible. Kind of sweet. Now, the opponent is trying to produce the Jace emblem here. So let's try to search. I think I should have cast Make a Stand before. But Pills of Mirasa is kind of interesting. Dark Salvation is going to finish Nissa. We receive a clue. So 2 emblems here. I think the opponent was quite lucky to get this Planeswalker on so early. So there are 12 plus 2, a lot of damage to take. Alright, let's just kill one zombie is not going to change too much. So this emblem, whenever an opponent casts his or her first spell each turn, counter that spell. So in a way that will let us discard our cards, but we are about to die next turn. Now we cannot even block the zombies with this enchantment. So let's see. The Eldrazi Displacer goes into the graveyard. It gets countered. Now we drop the mysteries. And I think that's it. We might gain life and bring back any one of these creatures, but then we cannot play those. We can try to draw something. Let's see if we find something interesting here. Well, long road home, kind of useful if we weren't about to lose. Let's give the opponent the pleasure of attacking with all his creatures. He might even kill himself activating the Crypt Breaker too much times. This is 40 damage in form of tokens and Fleshback Marauder. Kind of cool. We have to sacrifice one. So Nissa, she can bring back the Fleshback Marauder if she wants to, but instead she's making us discard something. Let's just go with the Eldritch Evolution. That doesn't matter at this point. Let's just set Scav. Come on. Get into the attack phase. Well, let's see what was our next card. We get 2 more humans. And skip blocking. So we couldn't stop the planeswalkers in time. So our plan was pretty much a failure from the beginning. Let's try again. It's not certain if we are going to manage to pull it out, but we are going to keep trying. That's the spirit. I am sorry if by the end of the game we cannot do it. I'm sorry, but well, it's a very non-orthodox way to play this, and our control cards are a bit expensive. For instance, if we have drawn into Anguished Making to remove the planeswalkers, the story might have been different. Oh, and this is a nice looking mana base to start. So let's go ahead with wastes to scare the opponent that we are running something in the form of co-select. Well, actually, running co-select could be an interesting idea in this deck that is ramping so much. Now, let's see. I think that getting the Death Cultivator out is not bad. If the opponent wants to kill this, he's going to need to spend a card, and otherwise we are ramping into the Tireless Tracker and triggering one activation of his landfall. So let's begin by tapping this one just before the opponent has the chance to do something nasty. And we drop the planes and we get our first clue. That's cool. The clues are kind of the way on this deck to keep our hand breathing, but Absent Judgment is going to deal with, I think, both of these. Spontaneous Mutation. This is giving the creature -X, so we kind of do not want to attack with this one anyway. Also, Eldritch Evolution could be used to do something with this guy, but let's go ahead and search for a, I think, well, if I look for a planes, I can play the Selfless Spirit, but I also can, well, Crumbling Vestige, Selfless Spirit. I think I'm going for it just to put some pressure on the board and scare the heck out of the opponent. He now is facing 3 creatures. Well, he's playing red and blue, and he could easily remove these guys with a Twin Bolt or something similar. He's running Absent Judgment with Madness. Perhaps he has a discard type of deck. Now, here I think it is safest to start cracking the clue and finding out what we draw into. Perhaps the Eldrazi Displacer. Instead is the Crop Sigil that I like to play, but let's first attack with our flyers and see if the opponent has something awaiting for us. No, well, let's see. Let's play the Pilgrim's Eye. We are finding a swamp and Crop Sigil. This is going to be making us discard something on each of our turns, but the interest of counter spells gets exiled. That is I think this is a waste of a counter spell, but okay, so be it. Perhaps the opponent wanted to have more cards in the graveyard. No. This card is going to use it to pump up his wizards. So I think this is a wizards deck of some sort. Now let's see. Do I have something? Okay. Artifact, sorcery, creature. Okay, I'm going to find myself the Ishkanah right away, which should be coming with. Well, I'm not sure. Is she going to appear with Delirium? It's not. Maybe I should find Nisa. Let's go with Ishkanah and try to see what happens. No, because the what? Where is? Ah, this is exiled. Even if it wasn't, I think that it wouldn't work if I wanted to, because the sorcery enters the graveyard after bringing up the Ishkanah. So let's continue. Let's see. Let's hope we get our good instance. I think that we should add some form of white removal, not exiling but destroy creatures or enchantments. Perhaps some of the escalate spells are not bad. Pyromancer's Assault. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this is going to deal 2 damage to target creature or player. So Baloth Null, we can play and retrieve both creatures. That's quite interesting here. But perhaps we should wait to kill the Ishkanah. I'm not sure what to do here. But let's go ahead and bring back the Tireless Tracker and the Pilgrim's Eye. This is anti-Delirium play, but we can sacrifice the Selfless Spirit at any given time to send this to the graveyard if we want Delirium. But at least we get a nice combo going on. Our opponent going mad with spell power, another wizard. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card. This one deals 2 damage towards Pilgrim's Eye. Come on, kill. I want the opponent to kill the Ishkanah actually. Let's see if he can do it. Well, he dealt 4 damage and that was it. Pretty interesting. Turn of events. Let's go with Tireless Tracker here. Now Plains. Now we draw, so we get to see what's in store for us. Let's spend the colorless mana, of course. The choice of the game is quite weird. Long Road Home. This could save one of our creatures. If we had Delirium activated, it would be quite funny to blink the Ishkanah. So I think we have to somehow try to get into Delirium soon. By the time being, let's go ahead and find ourselves more lands and go with the Swamp. And maybe the opponent is able to kill Ishkanah. Let's go ahead and attack with this guy and see if the opponent decides to block. Perhaps he blocks with his 1/1. No, he decides to take it like a man. Now, of course, Green Warden of Mirasa is also able to bring Ishkanah back from the dead. Pyromancer's Assault. This guy is kind of ultra powerful here. Whenever the opponent plays an instant or sorcery, he's going to gain a lot of power. So we have one type of card in the graveyard. It happens to be the Selfless Spirit. Anguished Unmaking. I think I'm going to play that. So we have enough mana to pay this to make the opponent lose 1 life. Kind of interesting, but let's find ourselves some other card. Tap the colorless. Come on, for crying out loud. Ah! There. So we can activate Nissa's pilgrimage and keep up Anguished Unmaking and also Long Road Home. The Long Road Home is here to stop opponents from exiling the Ishkanah, most likely. So let's continue and attack again with this one, and I think there is no point in holding back the tireless tracker, so let's see what happens here. The opponent sacrifices his Thermo Alchemist, kind of interesting choice. So instead of blocking with his 1-1, so this kind of indicates that the opponent is running out of spells and instants. Mirrorwind Dragon, kind of interesting. Clutch of Currents. So let's see. Okay, almost there. If we play an instant, our Ishkanah is going to be ready to go. The Geist kind of fine here. This has transformed. So we have this. I think I'm going to Anguish Unmaking this one. And now Ishkanah is about to be very powerful. We can block this one, perhaps. No, maybe this is much better choice because this guy can grow out of control there. So we kind of disabled the plans of our opponent. He still has this Pyromancer's Assault plus the Mercurial Geist, but Mirrorwind Dragon is kind of hyper powerful here. So we have another Tireless Tracker on hand. We have our Delirium ready to go. So what we are missing here is the Eldrazi Displacer. Let's go with the Tireless Tracker, a Forest, and I think I'm going to pass. Yeah, I could suicide the Ishkanah, bring her back with the Garden of Murasa later, but I think it is better to wait a little bit to do so. No attack because the Mirrorwind Dragon can easily block. Let's see, we have the clues on the ready to pump up the Tireless Tracker. Running Waters, what was this? This. Return up to 2 target creatures your opponent controls to their owner hands. If he targets Ishkanah, it's going to be good. No, only the Tireless Tracker. Kind of smart from the opponent. And no, I think I missed the chance to use the Long Road Home here. So let's not sacrificing yet because we do not get to the Tireless Tracker. So let's go with a Crumbling Vestige. So we get a green, another of this. Let's play and spend one black. So come on, you want to use the floating mana for crying out loud. There, so smart. Yeah, Now we are going to crack the clue. No, no white. Save the white. Save the white. Save the white. And come on, Eldrazi Displacer. No, not yet. And alright. Let's see with this one. Come on, Eldrazi Displacer. We all love you. You are out there. Come on. Okay, make a stand. +1 +0. So let's see if we can get rid of the dragon. Either way, the Balothnul is not going to be able to block the flyers. So far, nothing special here. Let's blink the Ishkanah once, and we have another blink ready to go on the opponent's turn. Now Ishkanah returns stronger this time with his, I think these are her sons, the kids of Ishkanah. Well, a little too late to the party. Disenchantment lets the opponent draw more cards. He might have something to pump up all his power, so here this is, well, he's returning the Tireless Tracker back to our hand and killing one of our spider tokens, and I could have used the make a stand, but I think Long Road Home to Ishkanah is going to be better. Gaze Blast copies this, drag under to return the Ishkanah. Yeah, now Long Road Home over Ishkanah. And we are going to have 6 spiders. No, yeah, 6 spiders. That is the number. The opponent is about to die here. And we get away with our strange plan that is kind of hilarious. So 6. Now, is there something interesting? Yeah, there is one little thing that we can do here. Let's see. 6 is kind of expensive here to do so, but we can fetch a Long Road Home from the graveyard using the Green Guardian of Mirasa. Just to mess around. I think that we can say that the objective was fulfilled. If we send all our creatures into attack mode, we win. And let's get rid of this guy here. All right, and just like this. Cool. The opponent is at 7. We can do, of course, much more damage using Ishkanah, but I want to finish this with style. So let's, no, Green Guardian of Mirasa, don't, that run tapping. Ah, 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 ah. All right, tap this, and tap this one. And now, yes, we want to use the Green Guardian. Do not tap white. That's the only thing that I don't know what. So we bring back a Long Road Home. We can combo a Long Road Home with the Green Guardian of Mirasa, so we can endlessly bring back things to our hand, but spending, of course, this card. And 1, 2, 5, not quite enough mana yet to use this and activate the Death Cultivator, so we are going to block with Ishkanah, provide or perhaps one of the other guys, the opponent getting a quite powerful Geist. Let's hope he has not the one that makes this one unblockable, but at any rate we can target that guy with Long Road Home if we are under heavy attack. This guy is going to deal 1, so we are going to blink the Ishkanah, spell Shrivel. Well, we do not get to blink her. Well, we can't pay. Yes, let's pay. How? Right. We do not get to use the make a stand, so we lose one of our spiders to save our face. So we are going to miss 1 point of damage, but now the opponent knows that we are doing BM, that is bad manners. And now this is what we were expecting. Now the opponent might have something here, I don't know what, but who knows. Now Ishkanah is doing the honors, and we did win! Incredible that we could do that in our second try, and even against a very powerful archetype, because red and blue is very possible to have a very fast win with this combination, and we defeated the wizard team, so that is, well, quite a success. I don't know if you want to try the deck or maybe some variation of it. Let's review the cards that I have set here. You might find better options. Crop Sigil, 1 copy, that since this is an enchantment that you can sacrifice, it is going to help you get Delirium, but you have to get Delirium first, so not so much. But if you need to recover some creature from graveyards, so there you have it. Selfless Spirit. The idea of this guy is to save all the spiders, actually. So if the opponent runs board destruction that is going to kill all your tokens, you can sacrifice the Selfless Spirit instead. Death Cultivator for the sake of ramping up. As we saw, having more mana is good in general. So I think in the last game the opponent wasted in an enchantment on this guy that it did nothing. Long Road Home, kind of one of the keys to activate the enter the battlefield ability more times. Ruin in their wake. We didn't get to play this, but since we are going to use a waste anyway, this is going to help us ramp quite a lot. For 2 mana you get to search for a basic land, and if you control a waste you put that land in the battlefield tapped. Now Pilgrim's Eye, one of the best creatures to get your mana, because this can be paid with any color combination that you are running, so this guy is going to be able to fix anything, and it happens to be a flyer that can save your neck Eldrazi Displacers, so it didn't got the opportunity to shine in this deck. Nissa, always helpful. Tireless Tracker for the sake of producing clues. The clues help you draw, the draws help you play more. Albenwald Mystery, also you get more value out of your clues and out of your creatures if they die. Make a stand, same idea of the Selfless Spirit, you want to save your spider tokens. Pulse of Murasa to bring back some spider from the graveyard, or perhaps something more useful, or start rolling with some combo Anguished Unmaking, so you can defend against some very nasty cards the opponent might run, such as enchantments or planeswalkers. Eldritch Evolution, very nice to find the Ishkanah if you need her, but try to read properly the explanation of the card. For instance, I forgot that the Eldritch Evolution got exiled after you cast it, so take that into account. It's not going to the graveyard, so you are not going to have Delirium out of the Eldritch Evolution. But with a Pilgrim's Eye that costs 3, you kind of reach any other creature, or well, almost any other. You get to the Ishkanah, and we are running also Guardian Automaton. When this dies, you gain life, and since this is for generic mana, you can get to the Green Guardian of Murasa and Balot Null. So with these two, you can bring back creatures from the graveyard, although Green Guardian of Murasa is much more powerful because you get to return any card from the graveyard to your hand, so you can enter an endless loop with not infinite, because it's going to cost you a lot of mana, but an endless anyways, because you can use Green Guardian of Murasa to recover the Duels of the same name, and then you kill your Green Guardian and you bring him back with the Duels, and then so on and so on. From Beyond, a nice enchantment to also make the tokens that lets you get more mana, and even you can use the activated ability to search for the Eldrazi Displacer that you want to have in the board as soon as possible. And Tamiyo's Journal also to find a card if you happen to sacrifice 3 clues. So I hope you liked the deck in terms of lands, lots of basics, a couple of dual lands, Mortuary Mires to make more graveyard fetch even more, and the Crumbling Vestige, because this is going to be able to fix your color for 1 turn, and then you get the colorless to activate the Displacer. So that was it, and I'll be seeing you soon. Don't forget to leave your comment in the description if you like the video, and let's hope we get something interesting like this soon enough. And by the time being, sayonara.